Everybody, welcome back to Stickers on the Mic. Andrew here again with you. We are in June and we are deep in One Giant community. This is where Sticker Giant is focusing on people who are making a big difference. And today, Rebecca Ward is joining us from Louisville, Kentucky. Rebecca came up with this amazing project called Clothe The West. And Rebecca, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
This is awesome. So what is Clothe The West?
So Clothe the West is a project where we provide new essentials to children in the community. And so we pop up in the West End for the most part, outside, and we give away clothes, toiletries, shoes, whatever we have, we give it away. People don't need to sign up. People don't have to show us anything. They just show up and they can have whatever they want.
So this is pretty incredible because giving is super important, right? And giving back is even more important, especially for businesses these days. But you're not necessarily a business. What exactly brought you to start this up?
So again, I live in Louisville, Kentucky, and last summer when I started this in June 26th of 2020, it was a lot happening in Louisville. We are where Breonna Taylor was murdered by the police, and it was a lot happening.
Say her name.
Yeah, there was a lot happening here, and the kiddos weren't at school anymore because of COVID, and the uprising had happened, and the city was just like crazy and shaken up. And in the midst of that, I wanted to serve the children because I felt like they had been forgotten. I was experiencing this thing as an adult, and it was tough. It was so really hard. Tough. COVID was really tough, and trying to figure that out, wearing a mask all the daggone time, and just trying to figure out how to homeschool a kiddo and just all the things that were happening. I wanted the kiddos to know that they hadn't been forgotten. And so usually, I guess, you get new clothes to go to school, and you get new clothes for picture day and all these things, but those things weren't happening. And so that didn't change. Kiddos still were growing, but parents had lost their job.
Kids grow. Yeah. I've got three of them, so I get it, right?
Yes, they do. And so it had shifted that parents weren't working in the same way they had been before, and that kiddos still needed these things.
Right. So you're at it almost a year now, and folks, if you're listening in here, it's Clothe, like CLOTHE, the West. So that's the west end of Louisville. But, this hopefully, Rebecca, we're going to make this a worldwide thing. But, so you're at a year of this. When it first started, how are you getting the things to give away to kids? And then let's talk about how you grew it and then how you're engaging with your community, from the perspective of an organizer, because you're a community organizer, obviously, right?
Yes. And so I was already doing community organizing in the community with the whole uprising. Right. And so a local org had an abundance amount of new clothes that were given to them. And they were like, here, let's do something with those. And so they were given to me. And within like a couple months, those clothes were gone. And so it was like, now what? Are we done? Or how are we going to do this? And so we just reached out to the community and we're like, this is what we want to do. And this is how you all can support us. And so we created an Amazon wish list. Yeah. And people gave that way. And we have money apps. And so people give that way. And we do like Facebook fundraisers every so often. And people give that way. And it was just kind of, it was organic,
like it was natural. Like you weren't like pushing. You weren't pushing a thing. It's like, all right, who, Cash App, all right, fine, Venmo, whatever. Like, let's do this way.
Yes, it was like, who can help? Who can help and how can you help? And so some businesses would host supply drives and they might collect toiletries and then get those to us. And it was just like regular folks in the community helping us serve the community.
So when you built out, like the Amazon thing is very product based, obviously getting Venmo and cash and PayPal is allows you to do as much as you can to tailor whatever it is. But, you have this wish list and it's, there's a lot of different stuff here. How are you figuring out what people need?
So every so often I go back through it and I see what the need is. So right now we're coming up on our 1-year anniversary this Saturday. And so we'll host a huge free community event. We'll have resources. There'll be dental screenings and all kind of just stuff, HIV testing.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
that's more than just school supplies, though, by the way. That's a big impact. We're talking about like health and wellness, right?
Yes. And for the whole family. Like, I want to be able to serve the whole family. And so so periodically I will change the wish list. And so school will be starting in August for Louisville, and they will go back full time. This will be the first time they've went back full time since COVID. And so, since before COVID. And so we will tailor to toiletries and socks and undershirts and underwear. And sometimes the stuff that people don't really think about, like, yes, you might get new uniforms, but did you get some new soap? And so that stuff is important. Or did you get cologne and perfume? And so that kind of stuff is what we'll cater to for back to school. And so periodically we change the wish list depending on when it is and what we have going on.
Wow, it's dynamic. That's really cool. Yeah, there's some really good stuff on there. And I can see how you're also trying to focus on some educational stuff and even seasonal stuff for people. So a year of this. What have you learned in this past year, by the way? This has been a year. And it feels like it's been one thing after another, right? Mm-hmm. Now, some things are not any better. Some things are getting better. How have you figured out a way to keep your own head, by the way? Rebecca, thank you for doing this. Because it seems like a lot of work and a lot of touch points, right? Like, how have you been, so there's two questions. What have you learned and how are you taking care of yourself right now? Because I feel like you probably are like stretched thin.
What I've learned is that people show up for people in a different way than I believe that we have been showing up for each other in the past. And so that is what keeps me going. That is what drives this, is that people show up. And I can serve people without asking them about their household or without asking a mama any questions or without her kiddos even being present, because that's none of my business. And other people will show up and they're like, how can we help? What can we do? I don't have a lot of money, but I do have access to this. So it's just people showing up. That is like what has been awesome. I have learned that people can show up for each other no matter what color they are. And that has been like super awesome. How I take care of myself is I have an awesome team of 6 volunteers.
Wow.
Because we're not a nonprofit. We're not an LLC. We just run off community support. So I have 6 volunteers that are freaking awesome, and they can run this thing without me even being present. And so that is super helpful. And I just try to take time to just take care of myself in the midst of doing this. But this serves my whole heart. So this makes me happy.
Well, all right. That's one way of saying that. But I feel like you poured a lot of yourself. I mean, one scroll of your Instagram just shows how much effort you're putting in and like just the straight up work, capital W, that this is. But I noticed you're even like branding things though, and you're like trying to make it all a thing. Like, look at your background right now, folks. You can't see what I see, but I got the whole banner here with the logo and every way to do it. I presume that's for the events, but I mean, it's up in your house. It's a visual reminder. It's a good background for Zoom, of course, or whatever. But like, you clearly also had to figure out some ways to like sell this project without being a salesperson, or maybe you were before this, but sales is a whole way of trying to relate with people. You know what I mean?
Yes. So that was different because originally we didn't have a Facebook or Instagram. I was just like making posts like, hey, you all, we're going to be here and this is what we'll have. And somebody was like, you have to have a page or you have to have something else and you need stuff. And I was like, well, we don't have money for stuff. So we were like working out of boxes, just cardboard boxes with stuff in them. And we would just load up as many cars as we could. And put them on tables. But now we're like kind of getting official. So we have stuff, like we have a backdrop and we have like real containers with wheels on them. And so I have just figured it out. It's been trial and error. Some things have worked and some things have not worked at all. But yes.
Oh, I love it. That's fantastic. And, like you said, you got a big event this weekend. I'm looking forward to that. I'll be following that on Instagram for sure. And people will be listening to this probably afterwards. But, I wondered, the way I found you is you used our hashtag One Giant Community, which very few people do because it's so new. We just launched this project because we feel the same. We see and feel the same thing you're saying, right? Like people are willing to show up. We've been sponsoring things for years. That's a big part of what we do with Sticker Giant. But like, it feels like it's more important than ever. First of all, how did you find that hashtag? And then why did you order labels to what are you doing with them?
So my sister has a project called Jilly Pads where she provides menstruation products to people in the community that need them. So she ordered stickers first. And so she was like, order stickers from this place. And I was like, what's it called? And she was like, Sticker Giant. So I looked it up and she only saw it because it was like a commercial on YouTube.
Oh,
and
wow.
So I ordered this. I was like, what do I need stickers for? But I need stickers probably. And so I ordered the stickers and it was so easy. And then they sent like the proof and it was like, this is so easy. It's perfect. And it was quick. It was so quick. And so I ordered the stickers. And when the stickers came in the box, there was another sticker that said the hashtag. And so then I was like, well, I clicked the hashtag, but there was only two from me, probably. You know what I mean? We just got it started. It's a new project because we want, like, we've been doing community forever, but like now it's like we are one giant community. Like you said already, it doesn't matter where you come from, where you work, where you go to church, what you look like, how you feel, how you love. How can we figure out a way to support all those people? It happened to coincide with Pride Month, but we are not stopping this project just because June ends, because we believe, as you believe clearly, that community is the whole deal. Right. Yeah. Yes.
And that was you. So I just want to make sure I get the right shout out. Jilly Pads, like Jilly?
Yes, JILLYPADS.
All right, good. So, folks, we're getting even another very wonderful community service, this time from Louisville as well. This is Jilly Pads. And this is your sister.
Yeah, she's 13.
13. Oh, my goodness. All right, we got to get her on the show next because that sounds pretty positive. Goodness gracious. Rebecca, good luck with your event this weekend. Thank you for what you do and what you're trying to do and where I know this is going, right? Like, this is going somewhere. So, Clothe the West, and that's the west end of Louisville.
Yeah.
And give us just a quick few places to find you and how people can help.
Okay. You can find us at Clothe the West on Facebook and Instagram. And my name is Rebecca Ward. So if you don't find Clothe the West, you're welcome to search me and I will send you the link. We also have a Amazon wish list that is public. It is under Clothe the West. And we are Clothe the West on everything: Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, everything. And just like send us positive vibes and share a post. That is huge. That is how you can help. You can share posts. My plan is to take this on the road at some point. So
please do.
Yeah.
You got to. You got to get, like, you clearly are good at organizing. And I mean, if your sister who's 13 is already doing this stuff, it's in your blood, all of y'all. And like, that's just fantastic. So, folks who are listening in and you see how we're turning towards this community focus, it's always a pleasure to talk to people like you, Rebecca. And thank you everybody for listening. And, just keep following this hashtag One Giant Community. We're going to be doing this as much as we can. And I know that Rebecca probably will be losing sleep over this because this is what she does now. And you have just put, like you said, your whole heart. And I know that is not easy to do. So thank you for opening your heart to the people who need help. So
yes, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
We say it every time, folks. Every sticker has a story. Today it's Clothe the West, and if you check out their Instagram and you support what they're doing, it will help out a lot of people, and that's what we're trying to do here. So we will see you next time.
Thank you.
That wraps up this episode of Stickers on the Mic, brought to you by StickerGiant.com. You can download us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, or your favorite podcatcher. Thanks again for listening to Stickers on the Mic. We'll see you next time.